Hey everybody, and welcome back to Slowpoke Racing and the Ultimate Racing League, sponsored by Eldridge Air Conditioning. Sorry for the delay there, but if you've been watching the last couple of streams, you'll know that we've been having some problems with uploading, so I'm having to check that we're actually broadcasting before I crack on. So again, apologies for the delay. Now then, we're with the Ultimate Racing League for our Monday BTCC Replica Championship. Now then, I'm a bit behind on this one because I was away for a couple of weeks and there was a few technical hitches or something and the races couldn't be covered. So apologies for that, but we're here now and we're going to crack on with it and have a look and see what's what. Now, I'm a little bit out of sorts with the championship. I haven't got the league table, so again, apologies for that. But I suppose it's more important we bring you the race, isn't it? So we're going to have a look and see what's going on. So let's just crack on with this one and have a look down the grid and see where everybody is. And as we can see, Grasshopper has managed to put himself on pole position. Brian Moncani is in second. Thomas is third. Dan is fourth. Phaser fifth. Hodgie sixth. Chris is seventh. Unforgiven eighth. Hawkeye ninth. Colesberg 10th. And Vane is 11th. And back up to the top. Now then, we are in California, in the United States, at Laguna Secca. For those who play the game on a regular basis, you'll recognise that straight. And there's the pit lane on the right-hand side. Laguna Secca, 2.3 miles, 11 turns, 12 if you count the turn in between 6 and 7, but we don't. It's just more of a kink in the road, shall we say. Famous for the corkscrew. Which we will come to. We'll have a look at that as the drivers get to it, but it's a 18 metre or 59 foot drop from top to bottom, that corkscrew. So yeah, a bit of a scary old thing, especially when you're trying to do it in speed. Just for a bit of information, Laguna Secca is actually Spanish for dry lagoon, because this area was a lake once and part of it was drained to build the track. So a bit of useless information for you there about the track. So shall we crack on with this and get this race underway? We can see we've got two of the lights lit. It is a standing start. Lights out. Yeah, there we go, and we are away. Now then, I think they've got a choice of two sets of softs and a set of mediums to use. A set of softs and a set of mediums to use over the two races. It's up to them when they use. Oh, Dan, he really wanted that first place, didn't he? Let's just go back and have another look at that from Dan. He started third on the grid, and as we head down towards turn one, you can see Brian Moncani got the drop on Grasshopper and he's first into the corner, but Dan a bit late on the brakes and gave Brian a bit of a nudge, and yeah, all sorts of chaos ensued, but Grasshopper takes full advantage and carries on through. Let's get out of there. So Grasshopper back up into the lead. Unforgiven, what a start for Unforgiven. He's now up into second. Brian Moncani in third after that little crash. Thomas in fourth. Dan in fifth. Hodgie in sixth, hot on his tail. Chris in seventh. Colesberg, Hawkeye, Vane, and then Phaser. Oh, what happened to Phaser? We've got to go back and have a look. Oh dear, that don't look good, does it? Now, where were we? Phaser, did he get onto the... Oh, no, he got a... No, Dan, what are you doing? Dan, you've caused all sorts of chaos. You've pushed Phaser off now as well. We'll go back and we will have another look, because I'm pointing fingers here and I shouldn't really. But, yeah, that was definitely a bit of a help around the corner there from Dan. So, unlucky for Phaser. And poor old Phaser all the way down at the back, facing the wrong way. A bit of a kiss with a barrier. Lucky he didn't get a penalty, actually, but he has got damage, and I can't remember, I think the damage might be set to high, so Phaser's race is completely ruined now, because he's going to have to come into the pit to get that damage sorted out. What a shame for him. Back up to the top though, Grasshopper on the soft tyres leading the way. Now then, this is the corkscrew that we were on about. There we go, the left and then the right down the hill. Grasshopper through, Brian Moncani through, Unforgiven dropped to third now with Thomas harassing him all the way around these turns. I'll get the turns and sorted in a minute. Down turn 10, there we go. So Unforgiven now down to fourth as Thomas doesn't force his way through, but he makes a move anyway on Unforgiven, and around the final turn at turn 11 and back onto the straight. 325 metres this straight from the exit of turn 11 into turn 1, which is this sort of bend in the road here, and then it's downhill towards turn 2, Andretti hairpin, this left-hander, and then you're almost immediately thrown into turn 3. Hodgie made his way up into 5th with Dan the wrecking man in 6th. Excuse me. Dan on the soft tyres. Chris in 7th. In the Crown Athlete. I've remembered it. I had really struggled for the first part of the season with that, didn't I? I could never remember what that thing was called, but it is the, I'm sure it's a Toyota Crown Athlete. And I think Brian Moncarney's running one as well. Carlsberg in 8th, Hawkeye 9th, Vane, and then Phaser down in 11th. And Phaser has come into the pits to go onto the medium tyres. So whether he's had to, I can't remember if they have to do a pit stop or not. We'll find out. Phaser's done a pit stop anyway, but he's probably come in to get that damage repaired. And wow, he's got half a track to catch up. So unfortunate for Phaser. That's race over for him, really. Grasshopper still out in front though, and Brian Moncarney giving chase. He's got Thomas in the rear view mirror as well. In fact, should we jump? We'll jump on board with Thomas, shall we? As we cross the start-finish line to start lap 3 through turn 1, down the hill towards turn 2 at Andretti hairpin. We can see that Grasshopper is still leading Brian Moncarney. A quick look behind us as we exit turn 2, and we can see Unforgiven there sitting in 4th into turn 3, sorry, get myself confused now, apologies, into turn 3, then into turn 4, being very careful with the power as Thomas drifts the car out to the left. You don't want to go too far left, otherwise you'll be building sandcastles, and that's pretty much the story of this track. If you go off anywhere, then yeah, take your bucket and spade with you. You're a long while coming back. Go up through this little kink in the road, and then up towards turn 7 and 8, which is the corkscrew. So we'll stay with Thomas just so we can have a look at this corkscrew from a driver's eye view. You still got to see the exit. There we go. Oof, yeah, that turns your stomach, doesn't it? You don't want to eat your sandwiches just before you do this race. Around turn 9, rain curve into turn 10, and then turn 11, which is this sharp, almost hairpin, but it's a 90-degree turn 11 and back onto the straight. Now it looks as if the two cars in front are getting away. Now they have got nitrous. I've just remembered, like I said, I'm so out of touch with this race, I apologise for that, but they have got the use of nitrous, and if I remember rightly, Thomas doesn't like to use it too much, so he likes to save it towards the end of the race. Hodgie battling away with Unforgiven, trying to wrestle that position, that 4th position away from Unforgiven. Unforgiven having none of it at the minute in that Alpha. Hodgie in the Renault. Really pushing hard, really putting the pressure on Unforgiven. I need a drink of water, I've got a rough frog in my throat this morning. Dan the wrecking man trying to go around the outside of Hodgie, not quite, can't quite get it done there as they go up the hill towards the kink in the road. Unforgiven through, Hodgie through, Dan through, up the hill now towards the corkscrew. Doubt very much there's going to be a move made here. It's not the best of places to try and do an overtake. So Hodgie stays in 5th. Oh, good exit. Oh, good exit from Hodgie, or poor exit from Unforgiven. I'm not quite sure, but Unforgiven just managed to keep his nose in front. Oh, and Dan's at it again. Dan. Oh my, what is going on? Dan, come on. Well, yeah, Dan the wrecking man is probably about right today. There's a bit of a gap in between the two of them, and then it started to close up. Dan tries to go up the inside, has a good old smack of Unforgiven, goes off track. He comes back on in front of Hodgie. Unforgiven, unfortunately, innocent bystander in all of that. Now then, is Dan going to wait? Is he going to slow down after turn 11 and let Unforgiven through? In the meantime, Chris has said thank you very much and moves up into 5th. No, Dan feels that there was no harm done there. Wasn't his fault. And he's going to keep on going. He's up to 4th now. Chris is into 5th. He capitalised on that error of judgment, shall we say. So he's up now into 5th. Hodgie is in 6th. Unforgiven, unfortunately, down in 7th. Oh, we've got a yellow flag. Why have we got a yellow? Oh, it's Brian Moncani. It is all happening here, isn't it, at Laguna. Brian Moncani in P2, chasing hard after Grasshopper on the soft tyres. Oh, and he's hit that sausage curb, which is not what you want to do. Oh, no. You do not want to smack those sausage curbs like that, Brian. A rare mistake from the Belgian driver has cost him. Luckily enough, it's not cost him that much. And let's have a look. Oh, he's got damage. That may have cost him a little bit more than I initially thought. I thought it only cost him 1 place as he drops to 3rd, but he's picked up damage at the back. And at the rear left wheel has probably got a scratch on it as well. So Brian Moncani has now got a decision to make. Does he come in and get that damage repaired, or does he stay out? But obviously the aerodynamics are going to be affected. So we'll see how he gets on. I think Brian he may well do another lap just to test the car. But that has allowed Grasshopper and Thomas to get away. Thomas benefited from that mistake and has moved up into P2, and these two now really are getting away. Thomas desperately trying to catch up to the back of Grasshopper and stay with him. So Brian, yeah, as suspected, he's going to stay out. I think he's going to test the car and see how it handles now with that damage, and if it's not too bad, then he'll leave it and just carry on with the race and try and salvage something. Dan, the wrecking man, in P4 with Hodgie chasing him down in 5 in that Renault. Shall we jump on board with Hodgie as we come around turn 4? Wow, look at the speed on that Renault. He just can't get it quite slowed down, can he? And Dan did the old switcheroo there and slips up the inside. Hodgie, it was a great move initially. He just flew past Dan, but couldn't get the car slowed down. I think it was the nitrous. He was probably using the nitrous and just left it on a bit too long. So Hodgie back down to 5th through the old corkscrew. It makes your stomach churn just sitting in the car with them, doesn't it? Hodgie pushing hard, having a good race, isn't he, Hodgie, in the Renault? Quick look behind, and Chris and Unforgiven are battling away as well, so we'll have a look at them in a second. Through turn 11, getting that car slowed right down, and then back on the power again. So across the start finish line then to start lap 7 for Hodgie. Chris just about holding on to 6, but he has got Unforgiven pushing him all the way. Unforgiven pulls alongside and is going down the hill towards turn 2 on the outside. Chris on the inside. Chris is going to have this one around the turn, but if Unforgiven can stay there, he's going to be on the inside as they get towards turn 3, and he is. Unforgiven on the inside, so Chris is going to have to give this one up. No, he's not. They're still side by side as they come down towards turn 4. Oh, and Unforgiven has just got his nose in front. Some fantastic stuff from these two guys. I don't think there was any contact. Unforgiven defending turn 6 as he goes to the inside. Again, if Chris wants it, he's got to go the long way round. Oh, he had a bit of a look, didn't he? The old swisheroo, but got his wheels in the dirt, which slowed him down. Now he's having another bit of a cheeky look as they come towards a kink in the road. Oh, no doing there. Chris has gone off. Oh, he just caught the curb, didn't he? And slung him onto the sand, but good recovery from Chris, and he's managed to stay in touch with Unforgiven. Oh, now Unforgiven may get a penalty there. He cut quite a chunk out of that corner. There we go. Half a second for Unforgiven. He did take a good old chunk out of the corner, and that's what that penalty's for. So Chris now has just got to stay in touch, and he can get P6 back off of Unforgiven. I'm sure Unforgiven will be kicking himself for that. What he needs to do now is try and get away from Chris. He needs to open up a big enough gap so that when he serves that half-a-second penalty, he can still hold on to P6. Let's just have a look and see where Chris is. Well, he's not that far, is he? He is within touching distance. Just needs to push a little bit more, I think. The distance we've got at the minute, it may just about put Chris alongside Unforgiven when he serves that penalty. You know what, we're going to stay with this. We're going to stay with them and wait until he serves it. And I can't remember where it is. I think it's just after turn 11, so we're going to follow these two all the way around the track. Why not? So Chris, we'll go on board with Chris as we come into turn 6. Trying to get on the power early, trying to keep the back end in check as well. Up the hill, through the turn that doesn't exist, missing that curb again though. Yeah, he did it this time. You don't want to go smashing into that sausage curb again. Up the hill then, this is the climb to the top of the corkscrew, and then a 59-foot drop to the bottom, and that's turn 7 and 8. Through turn 9 then at Rainy Curve, again still going downhill through turn 10. Pushing hard now then. I'm not so sure Chris is close enough to capitalise on this penalty that Unforgiven is just about to serve. And there we go, penalty served. Yeah, Unforgiven did a great job of getting some distance between himself and Chris so that he can maintain that position. So as it stands then, Unforgiven, having served his penalty, is still in P6. Chris is in P7. Hawkeye in 8th. We're not seeing much of Hawkeye and Carlsberg, have we? They're having a good old fight in 8th and 9th. Hawkeye just about holding on in that little AMG. And Carlsberg in the BMW in 9th. Now then, I believe this is a 20-minute race, so we are just over halfway at the minute. It is still Grasshopper leading Thomas, with Brian Moncani in 3rd. But we're watching Carlsberg trying desperately to get P8 away from Hawkeye. Hawkeye on the soft, so he's got damage at the front as well. So he's doing well actually to keep ahead of Carlsberg with that damage. Fazer in 10th after that disastrous start of his, and then Vane down in 11 now. I'm not sure quite what's happened to Vane. So we're sorry we missed that one, but poor old Vane is now down in 11th, and that is a big ask if we want him to catch up to the rest of the pack. Fazer doing everything he can, but it's still a long way off. His race was basically wrecked at turn 3, I think it was. So this is just more of a practice for Fazer. So Hawkeye, look, he was going slowly then. He's just come through the corkscrew. Carlsberg, wow, what's happened? Let's just go back and have a look and see, because something has definitely happened there. We'll go on board with Carlsberg, but it looked like it was Hawkeye that was making sandcastles as they make the climb up the hill towards the corkscrew. It is Hawkeye in front of Carlsberg. Wow, how strange. We are, yeah, let's go back and have a look. He just veered off to the right. That's got to be some kind of disconnect, I think. Or did he? Well, that's very strange. Very, very strange. I don't know what happened there. But poor old Hawkeye into the kitty litter there. And yeah, how very strange. Carlsberg says thank you very much and moves on through to 8th. So we'll go and see what's happening, and up at the front, well, Grasshopper is just away, isn't he, and off up the road. Let's have a look in the nitrous, quarter of a tank in the old nitrous there. Big gap back to Thomas. Now whether Thomas has had a bit of an issue or not, I don't know, but he's dropped well off of the back of Grasshopper. In fact, Brian Moncani has caught him right back up again. Brian Moncani in the other Toyota Atenza. And he's going to start putting the pressure on Thomas now. So Brian Moncani, already on the podium, but wants to move up a step. Had that disaster, didn't he, as he came out of turn 4. He was in P2, came off the track spawn, had a big old kiss with Barrier, which dropped him down to third. He's picked up some damage, but he's staying with it. Now he's on the old nitrous button to try and catch up to the back of Thomas, and he's really ploughing through it. And that has moved him a little bit closer to Thomas, but I think Thomas may have had a little press of the button as well. But Brian Moncani around the outside at the Andretti hairpin, trying the cutback, but nothing doing there. Thomas defending the line really well as they move up towards turn 3, hugging that inside line. No room for Brian Moncani to get through there. Up towards turn 4. We'll just stick with these two guys. Excuse me, I'm choking myself there. Brian Moncani then he's going to go around the outside, is he? No, nearly contact at turn 6. It is Thomas doing everything he can to keep Brian Moncani behind him, but Brian Moncani's got his nose in front as they come to the kink in the road now. Then keep it on the track, Brian. No, it's on. No. Oh, what a fantastic spin. I mean, it looked brilliant, but it is not what you wanted. We've got to see that one more time. I feel like I need to put some sort of ballet music to this, because Brian goes off, and there we go. Listen, you can imagine the music being played in the background. A brilliant spin from Brian. Not what he wanted, but the crowd are absolutely loving that. That's dropped him back down to third. All that hard work he did has now come undone. He's got to be careful as well. His tyres are going to be really dirty, so a little bit cautious through the next few turns. Poor old Brian down to third again with 4 minutes to go. Well, just under 4 minutes to go. Thomas, big sigh of relief from him as he saw Brian Moncani go pirouetting off in the his rear view mirror. So Thomas back into second and looking good to keep it. Dan, the wrecking man, in fourth. I'm going to stop calling him that. It's not fair, is it? Well, it is. Is it? I don't know. It's Dan. Anyway, Dan in fourth. In the Little Merc, I think it's the A45, I think it is. So Dan now creeping up towards the back of Brian Moncani. Hodgie still in fifth. Great racing from Hodgie in the Renault. I think at the beginning of the season we didn't think the Renault was going to have the beans to keep up with the rest of the pack, but when it's in the hands of a driver like Hodgie, well, anything is possible. And currently holding on to fifth, and well, he's got Dan firmly in his sights, hasn't he? Unforgiven still down in sixth after his little mishap with Dan coming out of turn 9, I think it was. They came out of turn 9. Was it coming into or going out of turn 9? I can't remember now. But Unforgiven down in sixth. Chris in seventh. He's dropped off the back. He was having a good old fight with Unforgiven at one point, wasn't he? But he's dropped off, and a bit of a gap opening up between the two of those. Goldsberg into eighth with Hawkeye behind him. Hawkeye, if you remember, had that incident at the top of the corkscrew where he just forgot which way left was and actually turned right. So that put Hawkeye down to ninth. And then Fazer, well, he had that issue right at the very beginning. So he's done okay to get back to 10th, but I'm guessing it's because Vane has also had a big old issue, and that's why he's down in 11th in the GTI, kicking up a lot of dirt there from that Volkswagen. But I'm sure Vane will come back in race 2 and put up a better fight. Now he's had a bit of a practice run, the same as Fazer. Our race leader then, Grasshopper, under no pressure. What's the time? We've got about just under a minute and a half to go, so Grasshopper looking good for the win at the minute. He's just got to keep it on the grey stuff, not make the mistakes. He's not made any so far, and I don't want to curse him. It's usually the commentator's curse. As soon as you say things like that, they spin off. So I'm hoping I've not done that to Grasshopper. Looking good for the win. Thomas in second in the Focus, so yeah, again looking good for P2. Now if you look at the map on the top right, it looks like he's very close to a car in front, but I think that may be a back marker. It may be Vane. Yes, it is. So Thomas around turn 11. Grasshopper has already got by Vane. You can see the blue flag being waved for him, so Thomas, I'm hoping Vane will move out of the way. Let's have a look. As we're coming into turn 2, Thomas not that far behind, so I'm guessing Vane will just move out of the way and let Thomas through as soon as he gets a little bit closer. So through turn 4, and this is where Thomas has caught up. Now then, Vane, is he going to stay out of Thomas's way? Oh, this could get awkward, couldn't it? At turn 6, it looks like Thomas has had to make a move on him. Yeah, Vane just put the brakes on there. Maybe should have slowed up a little bit more, but no harm done. So Thomas goes through. Brian Moncani still sitting in 3rd. Really bad luck from him today. He's put up a good fight, hasn't he? He's put up a good show as well. I think the crowd gave him a 10.0 for that pirouette. Dan, oh, and Carlsberg has finished. Now then, let's go back. We do like to see the guys finish. So Carlsberg then are going to cross the line in 8th. So well done to him. Hawkeye across the line in 9th. Unlucky at the top of the corkscrew. Not quite sure what happened to him. Phaser will cross the line in 10th. Vane, well, we've seen where he is. So Grasshopper, who's going to finish first? Is it Vane or Grasshopper? No, it is going to be Grasshopper. Grasshopper just coming around turn 11 now. On to the start finish straight, and you can see the checkered flag being waved. So great race from Grasshopper. Led from the start practically and dominated this race. Thomas will get 2nd after that close battle with Brian Moncani. Brian, so unlucky, but does finish 3rd after all. Dan, well, what can we say about the start of Dan's race? Not much, but he does cross the line in 4th. Hodgie 5th. Good race from Hodgie. Unforgiven 6th. He'll be a little bit annoyed, I think. He could have done better. He should have done better, actually, but he'll take 6th for now, with Chris going to cross the line in 7th. So that was race 1 here at Laguna Secca. I will be bringing you race 2 very shortly, so stick with us, and we'll see how the guys get on a bit later on in the day. So thanks for watching, and I shall be back in a few minutes.